Hey there, I'm Dan, a self-proclaimed lonely rocker here at 42 Gear Street 7, and it's my honor to be sitting beside Richard from Enya Music. First of all, welcome. Nice to put a
Nice to
face
meet you. Yeah,
to the
finally we
name.
meet in
Yes.
person.
Now, the premise of this conversation, as a YouTuber, there's certain brands that we seek out, and the thing about having a balanced YouTube channel, I only focus things that I enjoy using. I'm not two-fisting equipment just
Yeah.
to, and it's not all about getting as many sponsored videos as you can, but it is my living. So I have to balance integrity, which is the most important thing for me, but I do have to eat. I get a lot of emails almost on a daily basis from companies from, especially we'll call them the offshore companies, and specifically your company's based in China. Okay,
Yeah,
we're based in
definitely.
China.
That's offshore company.
And there's a stigma in the West that some, Chinese companies are making just fast food gear that's not good. But so one day, I got an email from Enya Music, and admittedly at the time I wasn't fully aware.
Yeah.
And there was something about the email because it kind of came in with a batch of, someone asked me to do toilet paper roll holders. Okay, like I'm not joking. I get like they flood us with requests. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, long story short, Enya Music comes in the door. We have a discussion, and not long from then, the Novo Go Sonic showed up at my door.
Yes.
The first thing I noticed about Enya Music guitars,
Yeah.
well, albeit a very different category,
Yes, completely.
but a really great product and a lot of fun. So I want to get to know Enya a little bit
Okay.
because now there's a face. You have a rep in each department, as you told
Yes,
me, right?
yes.
And I have this name and that name. It's first name. I never see a face, and it's kind of faceless. But now we got
Right
a
now,
face.
got a face.
Enya Music exists. So please give us a little. How long has Enya been around?
Okay, we have been around almost like 14 years. This year is the 14th year
wow.
of the business.
Wow.
So quite long ago. But we started with the ukulele, which is like a small guitar instrument. Then we launched into acoustic guitar. Then we think, okay, let's do something different. Let's make guitar carbon fiber, stuff like that. Then we go into all carbon fiber route. Then we're thinking, okay, let's do maybe add something new. We do the onboard speaker thing. Every guitar from us, we have the onboard speaker.
By the way, just the overall concept, these are carbon fiber, basically all-in-one guitars with the built-in processing, sound, and things like that, built-in speaker, and there are Bluetooth and things like that. So you can use it as a regular, this particular is the Inspire.
Yeah.
I have this exact color, by the way, I love this one. In essence, you could use this as a regular guitar. The pickups function as a traditional guitar, but there's the built-in, we'll call it amp modeling processing, amp tones, effects, and everything, and you can hear it all through this built-in speaker, but you have a traditional jack as well if you wanted to run this into an amplifier, and it's all rechargeable via USB-C.
Yeah.
And so you can take it on the road. So
Definitely.
And my kid stole my Novo Go Sonic and lives in his room and he likes playing it. And he's
Yeah.
he's listening to too much rap, but he's playing a little guitar on that. So,
That's so
anyways,
amazing. Anyway,
so what inspired this move to the carbon fiber all-in-one concept?
okay, because there's like a point in the company, in the company history where we gotta decide if we want to go to compete with the big brand, but with lower price, just copycat of those big brands, those amazing products, but with lower price, or do we want to do something new, something different? At that point, that's actually the point I come into the company because I used to be a musician, not used to. I still play guitar from time to time. I had this like musician type of mind because I would say let's go with the same, copy those brand but make it accessible to people. I think there's like great market for that. Then the boss, the head of the company, the man behind everything, is like, no. If we do that, that will kill the business. Not only for us, because we have this guitar, this kind of quality at this price point. Someone will compete with us, lower that.
Yeah.
Someone compete with that, lower that. Someone compete with lower that. To the point where nobody in the supply chain, nobody in this industry is making any money. That's not what we want. Then we decided to, okay, let's do something different. Let's go completely different. Let's to compete with those with those rivals in a different way. That's we decided let's do something different. What about carbon fibers? Let's start with the carbon fiber. Then everything just history.
It's interesting you say that because as someone like myself that didn't have the backstory to Enya, I just saw the concept. I said, okay, this is, modern thinking kind of thing. So I said, is this going to fit on my channel? So when I spoke to the initial person that I was talking to, I said, look, I only feature products that I enjoy. Like conceptually, I don't know if this is something that would sit on my channel. So I said, look, are you willing to send me one?
Yeah.
If I like the product, I wanted to know that I liked the product. So the fact that they were willing to send the guitar, no commitment, they just, but that's how confident I think you guys are in your products.
Yes.
Because when I got it, and this is, you know, as honest as I can convey in this video, is that I really enjoyed the product. I said, is this going to replace, you know, one of my Schecters or a Gibson or a Suhr guitar? No, it's a different, but it's a different category.
Niche, yeah,
It's a very different category, and I actually found myself using it. And that's when I knew there was a video for me to make.
That's the point, because everybody thinking, okay, this thing is onboard speaker. It's made of plastic. People say it's made of plastic. They didn't take serious about this type of product.
Yeah.
But almost every creator we contact, they found themselves playing this guitar more. They always found themselves playing this guitar more because it's so easy and convenient. Just grab and play. That's a complete different scenario. We're not going to compete with Ibanez, Fender, Gibson in a total studio setup or a total like a live performance setup. But there's more setup other than those situations. Like what we're now hanging out in Kenny's place in the garden, beautiful weather. We want to play some guitar. Are we gonna drag a Marshall here? That would be impossible. But you can take this.
I have a question for you. Now, the idea that you can play this guitar anywhere. Now, I don't know if you remember every video. I don't know if you recall the video I made on this or not.
Yeah.
Maybe you do or not. Here's the question for you. How many YouTubers played this guitar on the toilet?
I remember I seen like almost less than 10, but more than five.
Other YouTubers put themselves on the toilet playing this guitar?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they are. Maybe you haven't seen, but I haven't seen several.
I'm just wondering because I did it.
Yeah.
I did blur this part out, by the way. But then I revealed it that I was wearing shorts.
Yeah. Several YouTubers doing that.
I'm disappointed now. I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only fool. But that's the kind of the idea. And like one of the things that we're inundated a little bit now is the alternatives. And as someone like myself who's very traditional, I love tube amps.
Yeah.
I have a collection of tube amps. I love real guitars.
Yes.
And I don't deny the innovation and obviously this digital world that we're in. This is where we are. We can't deny it. And digital has been an integral part of my home studio experience. Yes. But there's a lot of copycatting out there, a lot of like miniature amps and digital things like that. But what I'm hoping is that it's making the guitar accessible for the younger generation who wouldn't have played guitar otherwise. Because I have two sons, and I've tried to open their minds to some of I don't want them to listen to dad's music, because that's a wrong way to approach it. But I want them to appreciate the craftsmanship in good music, whether it's their own thing. Because it's so easy to gravitate to rap music because all their friends are listening to it. So I'm hoping products like this that are more affordable, but that create a bit of that experience. They can pop on their headphones and suddenly feel like they're playing the most expensive reverb unit, and some cool distortion in that. And I'm hoping products like this find their way into hands of young players to discover the guitar.
Yes.
Do you have a sense of demographics of like who's playing your instrument?
That's an interesting thing. We thought this guitar could be appealing to the younger generation, but actually from data everywhere is suggesting that only people not that much younger will prefer this kind of guitar. Maybe I think it's not because this thing looks different or something. It's convenient. Only people who has been playing guitar different way, they can appreciate the true value of this. That this is something different. This is something truly convenient. They will enjoy playing something like this. Yeah. But also we have some different models with all the crazy figures on top of that, because this is not wood. We can just print everything on top, everything we want on top. There's like a dragon something, there like splash figure, stuff like that. Those model may be more appealing to the younger generation, but still the basic model, the core model, the black and beige one, more appealing to the people who's a little bit older than the younger generation. Yeah.
But looking at this guitar, and I've already featured this, so I'll put a link in the description if you want to watch the full feature on this Inspire. I mean, this is sort of based around the concept of a super strat. I love the aesthetic of this one with the rose gold. These, am I allowed to say Goto inspired tuners here? This trem system, which I discovered here, you have easy access to adjust the tension of this, which I actually lock this back. Sometimes, with a floating trem, there could be tuning concerns.
Yeah.
But
Tuning concerns.
I tightened it up so it sat flush on the body and rock solid, no
Yes.
problems whatsoever. And almost this sort of hip shot inspired,
Yeah.
easy intonation. So a lot of thought went into the details here. And this particular model, which really caught my eye because of the aesthetic, sort of simple gray, but I love the contrast of the regular gold and the rose gold, was just not something I see
Yes.
all the time. And the appointments are nice. And everything, you have to understand, everything is carbon fiber. The fretboard is carbon fiber. Is it nickel frets? It wasn't clear.
Stainless steel.
Oh, they are stainless steel.
Stainless steel.
Okay, so stainless steel, nicely rounded. The nuts is part of the carbon fiber, or yeah.
The nut is actually now like glued on top.
Right.
Because we use carbon fiber to make guitar, we can just mold everything.
Yeah.
If so, the nut is actually a part of the guitar.
So this whole construction is carbon fiber, exceptions being obviously the hardware, but through and through. This very clever way to hide your screws. But yeah, very, very sharp guitar.
Yeah.
And the modern spoke wheel truss adjustment. Because one thing I find with budget instruments is setting them up is almost impossible. We can call this budget, but I don't think that's a fair word to attach to this, because that would imply we're comparing this to another wooden guitar.
Yeah.
You know, the price point that you sell this at is fair because it ships with everything you need
Yeah.
to play.
And
but with thought that a player who has some sense of, no, I want this to feel comfortable, the setup equipment on here actually works.
Yeah, it works.
It works.
And you mentioned about budget guitar. You know, actually, it's not that hard to make budget guitar nowadays.
Yeah.
Because we know the industry back in China. We have a lot of factories making those guitars. We know it's not that hard. And even sometimes it sells well, better than, instrument at this price point. But we're still trying to make instruments like this because we think this is the right way to do. We're playing the long game. After all, someday in the future we're gonna build up the brand. We're now building up a brand, but though when the brand is getting stronger each day, it cannot happen with those budget instruments. There'll always be a lot of problem with those budget instruments, but people don't complain because it's a quite lower price. But with this kind of thing, we basically leave ourselves with no room for errors because people are paying $400 for an instrument like this. They expect quality of a $400 instrument. Then if we have some errors and something wrong with it, they will notice. They will be disappointed. That's the thing we're not allowed to risk. We don't want people to be disappointed. Long and long, we're trying to build a brand, day after day. Sometimes maybe we hope we can be the giant in the industry someday. That's what we're trying to do.
Well, listen, it was wonderful putting a face to the name. I have covered 3 of their products, Inspire, Novo Go Sonic, and the Next G2, so I'll put links in the description if we've piqued your interest and you want to check it out. But Richard, it was an absolute pleasure to meet someone in person from
awesome.
Enya Music. You guys make a wonderful product. Really pleasure. I enjoy your instruments, and I look forward to collaborating with you guys into the future.
Definitely. Okay.
Thanks so much. Remember, you don't need a band to rock and roll. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.
Bye, everybody.